Trump just made history again, but this time for it being erased. For the first time in 116 years, the NAACP decided not to invite a sitting U.S. president to their annual convention. But what if I told you the same group once gave him an award for helping black communities? This ain't about values anymore. It's about control. Stephen A. proves it.
You don't get to ignore him is my point. He has been the most powerful, the most influential member of the GOP since 2015. How does you refusing to invite him, ostracizing him, not wanting to hear what he has to say to you all, how does that help you? How? I'm not saying agree with him. I'm not saying side with him. I'm not saying befriend him. I'm not saying any of those things. But ignoring him ain't going to get it done. Not if you truly want to be about the business of helping folks, particularly the desolate and disenfranchised in our country, the urban communities throughout America. Not that that's all the NAACP does, because I'm certainly not implying that. All I'm saying is that clearly is who you're interested in helping. Mm-hmm. Ignoring him and not even inviting him to come and speak at your convention, what's that going to accomplish?
Nothing.
For the first time in a 116-year history, you're not inviting a president. Are you trying to tell me that there's no president that has been as offensive to the NAACP as Donald Trump in 116 years? Are you really making that argument? That no matter what you think about Donald Trump, that's the only person, that's the only president of the United States that you've been able to say that about in a 116-year history of the NAACP. 116 years. Doing the math, that goes back to 1909. Since 1909, there's no president that has ever been more offensive to the NAACP than Donald Trump. Is that your argument? Let's say for the sake of argument that it is for the moment. Other than the progressive left, who's going to definitively agree with your position? You might have folks out there that want to contribute to the causes of the NAACP that are center-left and center-right. They may not agree with Donald Trump either, but they recognize the importance of being able to work with the President of the United States. Mm-hmm. Just think about it. I don't think this is the right move. If all of us had to like the people we had to deal with and do business with, how would business ever get done in this country, if not this world?
Preach.
It's a rhetorical question, Mr. Derek Johnson. I know you know the answer.
Now, let that sink in. 116 years. Every president, regardless of party, and now suddenly Trump is too offensive to even be in the room. Not Nixon, not Reagan, not even George W. Bush after Iraq. Only Trump. So let me ask you this. Are they really protecting values or just protecting a narrative? Because once you see this next clip, I'm telling you, everything starts to unravel. Bam! Put it on the big screen for you. What do we see, man? Now, who y'all don't see over here, let me see, y'all can't even see the, let me see if I just click on it, would it pop up? Nah, that's Muhammad Ali over there in that picture right there. Yep, that's Muhammad Ali. Who else we got right here? Hold on. My fault, y'all. I'm over here wondering why the post ended up going over like that. But you see Jesse Jackson, you see Al Sharpton. What's this guy name? I can't remember it. But that's not just some handshake photo. That's Trump being honored for investing in the inner city, working with black leaders and supporting minority businesses. You got Jesse Jackson, who praised him publicly. He was welcomed by civil rights icons. So how do you go from Medal of Honor to a fascist threat? Unless it's not about who he is, it's about what he represents. And here's where the gaslighting begins.
Well, I agree with you, Whoopi. You know, the NAACP, what many people don't understand is it's a nonpartisan organization. And it's also a civil rights organization that has been, and what we have seen with this new Trump administration, Trump 2.0, is you know, he's attacking the civil rights that our ancestors, upon whom we stand on their shoulders, fought for and lost their lives for. He signed what I believe are unconstitutional executive orders to oppress voters and undo federal civil rights protections. He even ended initiatives for affirmative action and diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. And also, he terminated a number of NIH grants that support scientific research on health equity and racial disparities. And a federal judge, by the way, on Monday declared some of those cuts void and illegal, accusing the government of racial discrimination. And so when you have that in context as background, I think it makes a lot of sense. And the last thing I'll say is he declined to speak. Trump declined to speak at the NAACP when he was the nominee in 2016 and as president, 2017, 2018, and 2019. He doesn't want to go there. They don't need to have him there.
Now it's Trump's fault. But even if Trump declined past invites, since when does that justify blacklisting a sitting president? Your logic is saying, like, to me at least, you didn't show up for dinner before, so I'll pretend that you don't exist anymore. Since when does the NAACP, an organization founded on inclusion, start ghosting people based on their personal grudges? And here's the wildest part, y'all. They're not even hiding the reason anymore. The NAACP official quote. Let me read this. President Trump is now the first U.S. president in 116 years to not be invited to the NAACP to their annual convention. NAACP allegedly replied, "It would be a waste of our time and energy to give a platform to fascism. And he also asks, is anyone upset about this? A waste of time. That's a new standard. A man who received 12% of the black vote in 2020, the highest for Republicans since 1960. Who launched opportunity zones, and that created over 500,000 jobs. Okay. Who lowered black unemployment to the lowest rate in U.S. history? That's your fascist. You know who else got called a fascist? Plenty, man. Anyone who dared challenge the system. But if you thought the hypocrisy stopped there, unfortunately it doesn't, y'all. Watch what we have here. The president of NAACP, Derek Jones, did not invite Trump to his convention in Charlotte, but they invited white liberal racists, Democrats, LGBTQ, and the media. Derek is mad because the administration cut off wasteful taxpayer-funding to corrupt NGOs. Stacey Abrams, allegedly the NAACP was getting their cut from some NGOs for political outreach. That would explain the no invite. Not to mention the NAACP has become a wing of the Democrat Party. So let me get this straight. I'm going to say it like they say in the South. Let me get this straight. Yeah, man, let me get this straight, though. You invite white liberal Democrats, you let media figures with actual racist past take the stage, but Trump, you basically banned him. Why? Because he cut off government money to go to your pet nonprofits? Is it because maybe he exposed the grift? The NAACP says they care about civil rights, but since when does civil rights mean censoring the guy who actually made real progress in the black community? Make it make sense. Trump's not the first president to have baggage by far, but he is the first to be disinvited. That's not progress. And you should be asking, is the NAACP still a civil rights group? Or are they turning into another mouthpiece for the DNC? You decide. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.